And like you have your NCRT books, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Wonderful. All right. Okay, so switch on your video. Let's start today's class. I'll be starting with the chapter that is Fundamental Unit of Life. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Now see, while I'm teaching, if you have any doubts, if you have anything to ask me, you can ask me in the middle also. Okay.
Okay,
Anything
ma'am.
that you want to ask me. All right. Now, please, don't take down any notes. I'll give you time to take down. Okay. All right. So when I talk about the fundamental unit of life, we know that the most basic, the most important unit of life is the cell. If you remove cell, the organism could not exist. Right? When we are made, we start from a single cell and slowly we develop into
Divide.
multicellular. Right? Yes. So why we call it as the fundamental unit of life? Because the meaning of the word fundamental is basic, the most important thing. Without this, we cannot survive. So when we talk about the cell, we say that it is the structural and functional unit of life. Now, initially, people did not know what cell was. No one knew. Slowly, when scientists and you can say biologists, when they started to study about things, okay, they started to discover things. So at that point of time, there was this person called as Robert Hooke. So in the year 1665, he discovered the cell. Okay, he was the first person to discover the cell. He took the cork cells. Yeah, like you know the bark of a tree,
Bark of a
right?
tree.
Hmm. So he took out cells from that. And the cells from the bark of the tree, they are known as cork cells. So he took out that cell and then he observed it under the microscope. And to his surprise, he said that all the cells that came in under the microscope, they had a particular shape,
Honeycomb
particular
like
size.
structure.
Hmm?
Honeycomb like structure.
Yeah, it had a honeycomb-like structure and it all looked the same. So he said that, okay, these are little compartments and he called them as the cells. But the thing was that the cells that he studied or he discovered were dead cells, right? There was no cytoplasm or no protoplasm. Then came another scientist and his name was Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Now he was the one who discovered the first living cell, meaning that cell had these protoplasm present and that cell was living. Now, depending upon the number of cells that the organisms have in their body, the organisms can be of two types. Unicellular, which have one cell, that's it. One cell is their entire body. And then there are multicellular organisms in which they have multiple cells and later on many cells they come together, they form the tissue, then many tissues they come together, they form the organ, and then multiple organs come together and they form the organ system. So that happens in the case of multicellular organisms. Slowly the organization increases. But in the unicellular organism, it stays the same, meaning only one cell serves as everything. Now, the best group of organism to represent the unicellular group is bacteria. Most, you can say majority of the bacteria, they are unicellular. Uni means one, cellular is anything that is made up of cell. Whereas in the case of multicellular, multi means more than one or multiple. And cellular
Plants,
yet again,
animals.
yeah, cellular yet again means made up of cells. So plant, animals, human
Fungi.
being, yes, fungi, all of those come under the multicellular category. Now, yeah, like I told you, like Anton von Leeuwenhoek in the year 1674, he discovered the living cell. Now, when we talk about the shape and the size of the cell, it varies. We know that, right? There are so many different kinds of cells in our body, and each one have that particular shape or size so as to be able to do the functions that they are supposed to perform. They do variety of functions, and depending upon that, their shapes and sizes are different. Their functions are also different.
Different.
Yeah, such as the muscle cells. We know that the muscle cells are responsible for movement in our body. They have a different shape. The nerve cells, these are the longest cells of our body, right? So they also have a different shape. And then there is the gamete, the sperm, which is the male gamete, the ova, which is the female gamete. They also have a separate function that is in the reproduction aspect. So according to what the function that they perform, the cell's shape, the cell size, and the number also, it varies. Now, when we talk about the cell size, so we know that it varies a lot. Some plants and animals, they are like their cells are easily visible even to the naked eye, right? Some cells are clearly visible. But then there are many cells in case of humans also, in case of animals also, that we can't see with the naked eye. So for like in order to visualize them, we need an apparatus
Microscope.
that is microscope, right? Now these cells are seen with the help of microscopes and they are only a few micrometers in diameter. That is the reason why we require the microscope. Now tell me one thing. Do you know that like while if you want to see any cell under a microscope, what is the procedure that we do?
We take a glass slide
Hmm.
and take a piece of the thing that we are going to observe,
Yeah, correct. Then
and
just see it.
and put some.
Hmm. Some
I forgot the name, like acid,
no,
not
not
acid,
acid.
color,
It's yeah,
like
color stain. We
methyl,
stain the cells. Yeah, there are
methyl
different
blue.
kinds. There are different kinds of stains. There's
Yeah,
methyl blue, there's iodine, there's crystal violet. There are various kinds. The Janus green. So there are various kinds of stains, right? So we stain the cells to visualize them. Okay. Now, do you know why we stain the cells?
yes, ma'am.
Do you know why we color them or why we stain the cells before seeing under the microscope?
You see it clearly.
Okay, but microscope itself is an apparatus to see it very clearly, right? There are different lenses. So why do we have to color it? Why can't we see without coloring? What do you think? Have you seen a cell under a microscope?
Yeah, that cell, onion, like
That's it.
onion peel.
Okay. So did you stain it?
Yeah,
Why? Why did you stain? See, most of the cells, okay, most of the cells they are transparent. That is why we stain. Okay, if anything is transparent, how could you see? So we
yeah,
put color on them so that with the help of those lenses, we can clearly visualize them. Okay, it's good that you know the procedure. Very nice. This much is clear.
yes,
Okay. Now, after this whole entire discovery was done, when the dead cell was discovered, live cell was discovered, then more people started to study about the cell. Now they started to formulate the theories about the cell according to them, how the cell would perform, what they would do, and everything. So, do you know that the biology subject has been further subdivided into two types, botany and zoology? Botany is for the study of plants. Okay. Like for all the plants that we study it under the botany subject. And for the animal study, we study the zoology. Okay. So zoology. So what happened? At that point of time, there were two biologists, Clyden and Swan. Now, Clyden was the botanist and Swan was the zoologist. So, Clyden studied plant cells, Swan studied animal cells. And both of them came on to one conclusion that the plant and animals, both of them were made up of cells, and that cell is the basic unit of life. These are the 2 points that they said. But do you think while they were saying these things, do you think they tell us or told us about where the cell is coming from?
no,
No, they did not tell us anything about the origin of the cell. How does it come to exist or anything of that sort? So then came another scientist whose name was Rudolf Virchow. And him in the year 1855, he said that all the cells that are there, they have come from the pre-existing cells. Meaning the cells
Like
that
from
have
one cell.
already, yes,
Like from one cell.
meaning the cells that have already been existing, they divided and they formed the new cells. So this phenomena wherein the cells come from pre-existing cells, he called it as omnis cellula e cellula. He called this term. This term means all cell comes from pre-existing cells. So all in all, then the cell theory was completed. This is the cell theory that states that all plants and animals, they are made up of cell. Cell is the basic unit of life and all the cells come from pre-existing cells. But still, sadly, whenever someone says who gave the cell theory, Rudolf Virchow is not mentioned. It's only Schleiden and Swan. Okay, so whenever it gets asked who gave the cell theory, so you should know it's Schleiden and Swan. Now, this cell theory is applicable to every living organism, every single living organism. Okay, but there is an exception, and that exception is virus. Viruses, you know what viruses are?
Yeah.
What are they? What are viruses?
They
Like
are
what
dead
they do for
cells.
us.
They are dead cells.
But what do they do for us? Whenever you hear the word virus, what do you think?
COVID.
COVID, meaning some sort of disease they cause, isn't it? Apart from COVID, also they cause the common cold that we have, influenza, chickenpox, measles, all of these diseases. So they are the disease causing organisms. These viruses, they are an exception to the cell theory. The reason being, they have a very unique thing that whenever they are outside the body, for example, if they are present on the table, if they are present in the phone or any inanimate object, they are dead. But as soon as they get inside our body, maybe in our mouth, maybe in our respiratory system, lungs, or anywhere else, so then they become alive. So when they are present inside us, they are
And we
living.
start
When,
dividing.
yeah, they start dividing, they start infecting us. And when they are outside, they're dead. So if they're dead outside, living inside, so would you call them dead or would you call them living?
Neither.
You can't call them either. They're neither dead nor they're living. So since they are not truly living, that is why they are an exception to the cell theory. Cell theory is not applicable to them. Okay, rest all bacteria, fungi, microscopic plants, then macroscopic, the normal plants, animals, human being, every single organism, the cell theory is applied to them, but not the virus. Clear? Any doubts up until now?
No.
Okay, very good. All right, now you can note down till here. Okay, and then we'll move forward.
Ma'am,
Because
I
while
wrote
you're not, yes,
I wrote
right?
this all.
Okay. Like even if you already have these notes, you can make a fresh notes out. Okay. Yes, and while you're noting it down, you can switch off your video, write down comfortably. But please note this down, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Now can you scroll down? Now can you scroll down? Done, ma'am.
All right. Any doubts up until now?
No.
Okay, very nice. All right. Now moving forward. See, now we are going to see the different components that are there. But before that, I would like to tell you about the levels of organization. See, starting from the unicellular organism and reaching up until the multicellular organism level, these are the certain level of organization present in different kinds of organisms. Now, for example, if we talk about bacteria, so they just have the cellular level of organization. Cell is there. But then the cells, they form a group and make the tissue. So some organisms are there that have tissues in their body. No organ system. Then there are some organisms that have organs in their body. For example, eye like structure. Okay. Hands, or you can say feet like structure, but not exactly. Like in plants also there are root like structures, but they are not true roots. And then comes the organ system. For example, like in our body, if I talk about the eyes, okay, now our eyes are responsible for the sight, right? We see everything and all because of the eyes. But do you think it will be possible for us to see without the brain? No. Why? Because when we look at something, right, immediately our brain forms the image. Now, even if you're not looking at that thing, for example, if I say cat, so immediately a cat comes to your mind, the picture is drawn, and you can tell what a cat is. So that is organ system level of organization. So these are the various levels of organization. Clear? As the organism's complexity increases in the body, for example, from one cell, the organism becomes of multiple cells, so does the level of organization increases in that organism. Now, moving forward, talking about the components of the cell. So the cell has four major components. There is plasma membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm or protoplasm, and then there are variety of cell organelles. So four different types of components are there, each of which we are going to study in depth. Okay, but first you note down till here. I think the class time is about to be over, so till then you note down till here, then we move forward.
Done. Done.
All right. All right. Any doubts up until now?